happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Well, JJ Wang, we are in that part of the rookie draft. We're still reeling after the rookie draft. Teams are starting to sort of balance out. Drafts are going on. I'm in my third rookie draft, just completed up Friday since there. Last week we spent some time going over the first two rounds of the draft, which had some guys that are going early, but now we're getting into the weird part of the draft. You go about 7 picks, and then I just see guys going, what do we do? It's like the floor just drops out. There's guys I like as I'm going farther. We'll highlight some today that I really like, but it's a weird kind of, at that point, people are either really reaching or just trying to get rid of anything. And Barnes, what's the yard? Have a yard sale?
Yeah,
fire sale. There we go. Have a fire sale.
That part about nobody really wants to jump. It's hard to trade because nobody really wants to jump up into it because, like you said, nobody really wants anybody after, pick 6 or 7. But yeah, I mean, at that point, you've got to make the pick. I mean, you have it, so you've got to pick somebody. And I think it's really not about value anymore. It's just like, I like this guy or I like that guy because it's all kind of blah. There's nothing to get excited about. There's a couple players, personally that I like, and I'll reach for them if I have to. So.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I traded into the 9th and 10th, or the later part of the first round, and I drafted dip recently. Really, really wanting to get. I needed some running back depth on a team that's a championship caliber. Just putting some guys in there. Ended up taking a running back and a receiver because I was a doofus. And the running back, I wanted Singleton, and he almost made it down to me with my next pick. He was one pick before. I was like, of course he goes down there. But with some of those guys, we go through it. Real quickly before we get started, I am sporting a Nightwing shirt tonight because I am officially getting to be an old man. Today is May the 3rd, and my son is a teenager now. I no longer have children. I have all teenagers in my house, and we were talking about it prior to the show. Your daughter's going to be a senior next year. Mine will be a junior, but yeah, we're getting to be old men here, so that makes us wiser, right?
No, I feel like I'm getting dumber.
Hey, we're getting lucky every now and then. People are still listening, so thanks everybody for listening to us week in and week out. Apparently, people like to hear us right when we're fresh. We had a good quick hit to start the last week. I was like, wow, thanks guys. It was pretty gnarly to see, and I'm trying to get some reels out of like quick hits, the little things we talk about. So. I think, unless you got something, I'm ready to jump right in. What do you think?
Well, let's jump around in there. See what happens.
So I was going to jump through some rounds, highlight some guys that are in there, and highlight some guys as we get to later. Because realistically, you look at once you get to the 6th, 7th round, these guys, they don't really they might not make the team. And then you got some UDFAs, which we're not even going to highlight today. So we'll wait to see how they go as we go through the offseason coming up. And for those who don't know, undrafted free agents. But the 3rd round was an interesting round. There were some amazing reaches on tight ends in the round. I cried because my favorite tight end went to a terrible place. But it started off with a guy who I thought was going to the 1st round, Carson Beck, to the Cardinals. I thought for sure they would reach for that 5th round option, but instead he slid all the way down to here to the 3rd. The 2nd rounds where all the weird tight end stuff went. That's right. But how do you feel? Is Carson Beck got a chance to be a long-term solution for the Cardinals, or is this he was there, next year's draft is better, this dude's holding a clipboard for the next 15 years and getting rich?
I mean, I feel like he has a chance. I mean, right? I mean, if any quarterback has a chance, it's Carson Beck. A lot of people don't like Carson Beck. I've gotten that feeling over the last week or two that nobody really has any thoughts on him. I think he's okay. I mean, I look at it, not that necessarily that I like him, but I look at it as he's going to get an opportunity. He was good in college. So he's got plenty. He played plenty, kind of the opposite of Ty Simpson. Carson Beck has played a lot of college at some high level teams. Took a team to the national title. They say he's only 23 years old, so he's not really, really old. He just played a lot of years in college. And then Ty Simpson plays 15 games. He's good for half of the year, and he gets drafted in the 1st round. And then Carson Beck goes in the 3rd. So he's going to Arizona. I mean, I I'd take a chance on Beck. But then again, I was the guy that took a chance on Davis Mills because he was going to have an opportunity. Did it work out? Absolutely not. But then I'm also the guy that took a shot on Tyler Shuck. Did that work out? So far. So we'll see how that goes. So I mean, I think Carson Beck is definitely worth a shot because he's going to get the opportunity. I mean, I can't imagine Arizona going all season and not giving Carson Beck an opportunity to play. It's insane if they don't.
You would have to be in a tough division. Brissett would have to have them. Well, unless he holds out because he wants to make
I
more
mean,
money.
and if I was Arizona and Brissett holds out, I'd be like, hold out, dude. I don't care. I'll just start Carson Beck or I'll start Minshew until he sucks after the 3 games. And then I'll start Carson Beck. I don't have to pay you more money. You're not going to help me in any way.
I think realistically he's got to start at some point this year, so they can just see. I mean,
yeah,
they took him in the 3rd, so they're tossing a dart.
I mean,
and see what happens.
Dylan Gabriel was given an opportunity to start on a very bad team, so clearly
this is a better team than that. Right?
Yeah, clearly they're drafting him to give him a shot, and he's got some good talent. I mean, he's got Jeremiah Lovett running back. Well, we think he's going to be good, so I mean, we're confident there. Marvin Harrison, the talent's there. We don't know if he's good.
Michael Wilson, man.
And I was getting to him. Calm down. Relax.
Wide receiver 1.
Relax. Calm down. Michael Wilson, and then they got the tight end. What's his name?
Trey McBride.
Yeah, Trey McBride. So he's got all the weapons in the world to succeed, and that's ideal situation. So I think he can be good.
So we'll do a quick in memoriam. Sam Roush, Stanford tight end, ginormous human being, is now blocking tight end for the Bears. There goes all my hope. Ignore everything I said the last month. Moving on, your Manders, Jaden Daniels, they got a receiver, Antonio Williams. He's moving up and down draft boards. He had his best year as his sophomore year. It was second sophomore year. I guess he redshirted, but when he had 904 yards and 11 touchdowns last year, 640. He wasn't anything spectacular.
Where did he go to school at? Do you know?
Clemson.
Where? Clemson.
That's
right. Clemson. Okay.
But he should be close to slotting in right there beside Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't show
I think it's
anything spectacular. So did he all of a sudden land in a great spot that he's a guy that I think coming into the draft, like, okay, there's a lot of wide receivers, but he wasn't a guy I think anybody's like, yes. Now we're like,
Yeah, so
I think he's gonna be a reach guy.
So since we're talking about the Commanders, let's throw that running back that they drafted in there too. I think it was from Penn State. I'm not
K-Tron Allen.
Yeah, K-Tron Allen. So they got both of these guys. So I think Williams I think he slots in as the number 2 receiver. So to start from the outside looking in, he's going to have to earn it. But there's really nobody in front of him. Was it Luke McCaffrey? Is he still playing? Is he still playing there? so you got to beat out him. I think there's plenty of opportunity. It's very, very interesting. I think he's kind of shot up the draft boards. I mean, you're going to be taking him a lot earlier. And then the running back, Allen from Penn State, Singleton and him shared times, and K-Tron Allen just put up a lot of yards. Even though they said Singleton was the better running back coming in, Allen overtook it. And I think I always got to compete with is Bill. I know you like Bill, but I just feel like K-Tron Allen is a much better running back prospect. I think he's going to get plenty of opportunity, and Bill clearly isn't like a workhorse. So he's going to get carries. Jaden Daniels healthy. That offense is going to be a lot better. And I think I think both of these guys are very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think K-Tron Allen was a luxury pick for them. He's the 6th round. So he's a guy that they're like, hey, there's a running back there. Everybody thinks we're supposed to get a running back, so let's get one. I think that they were fine. If he hadn't been there, they would have been fine going.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Work and Rashad White. Like I'm not as high on Allen in this location. I think it's going to take a little more, or it's just going to be messy for all 3 of them, to be honest. With Jerome Ford there, he's a jobber. But Antonio Williams is he's inked in as the wide receiver. They got Luke McCaffrey, as you said, but he's already ESPN has Antonio Williams as the number 2 receiver.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
it's Traden Burks, De'Ami Brown, Van Jefferson.
So how big is he? I'm not really familiar with him a whole lot.
5'11". Let me pull up. I just had it right up here.
So he's a little on the shorter side. Okay.
So he's a little on the shorter side. I had too many sites here. Sorry, guys. He's 5'11".
Okay.
Something.
That's fine. So he's probably under 200 pounds. I would think. Me, maybe not.
I would assume, yeah.
But anyway,
5'11", $190.
yeah. So I mean,
So he's slotted. He was like he's the third receiver. He's a slot guy, more of a slottish kind of guy.
yeah, I mean, I think it's going to work out fine for both of these guys. I think both of them are going to get plenty of opportunity, and then when you're drafting, especially in the second round, that's really all you're looking at. I mean, you're looking for opportunity and plenty of opportunity there.
So yeah, so third round of the draft, I'm going to talk about my boys. My Dolphins finally drafted a receiver, but it wasn't the receiver. It wasn't a receiver that anyone thought they were going to draft. Like I'm trying to go down to Fantasy Pros to see how low he is on the Fantasy Pros. They drafted out of Texas A&M. I lost him. He's so far down. Holy moly! No, where are you at, Mr. Douglas? But they drafted. Well, he's lower than Kevin Cole. They drafted Caleb Douglas, and Fantasy Pros has Caleb Douglas as their 47th receiver.
I mean, I have no idea who that is. So
he's kid out of Texas Tech, a reach as a player, and then higher up actually in Fantasy Pros, rookie rankings. So I got two screens. If you're looking at my video, is Kevin Coleman Jr. He's a speedster. He's going to be probably a punt returner more or less, and he is at player 40 on rookie drafts, and he was drafted. I'm trying to go ahead. He was way down. He was drafted in the 5th round. But the guy that I like that is on my teams that I'm picking up where I am, receiver out of Louisville, coming off an ACL, which is why he slid down there. Chris Bell, big guy. We talked about him in the offseason. He was a guy. My friends were asking, who would you like to get? I was like, I'd like to get Chris Bell. He legitimately has that. We don't know where he is, but he should be coming back to get reps, and he could redshirt this year. He could play. But if he steps into that team, there's no wide receiver on that team. He could step in wide receiver one day one.
Sure.
Size.
Oh yeah, he's big. Dude, what is it? 6'4"? Is he 6'4" or 6'2"? Like 220 or something.
I need to have all my. You're asking for things I don't have pulled up yet.
He's a pretty big dude, but yeah, I mean, I like Chris Bell. I mean, he tore his ACL. I think it was middle of December. So I think it's going to be a tough go for him this season. I would say he doesn't play. If he does, it's going to be like that at the end of the year. Maybe get a rep here, a rep there. But yeah, I mean, I like this guy. I'd take a shot on him. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's big.
220.
Yeah. So he's big. He's fast. He's going to have opportunity. Opportunity's key, man. Even though he's not going to play this year. So, I mean, you're pretty much just put taxi squad in him, or you think when you're taxi squad, you're moving on. Hour, if you got hour spots, some, stuff like that. But
right now, things are saying he's ahead of schedule, expected to be fully cleared by training camp, but that doesn't mean he is ready.
Yeah.
So health-wise, he could play, and it could be we see him start out like if you remember Jefferson started out like a little slow. Like he's not just Jefferson. Don't give me that. Don't pull that everybody. But at the beginning of that year when he was a rookie, he was like just sort of there. Then all of a sudden he exploded.
Justin Jefferson
wasn't because of an injury.
Yeah, he wasn't coming off of an ACL tear either.
An injury, but it was that slow.
Oh, sure.
He was learning the game there and just getting into Minnesota. But then he's went bonkers.
Yeah.
Chris Bell won't do that because he's on the Dolphins. But I think he could get.
That's true too. That's a good point.
Dolphins, Browns, Jets. Let's go. But he could be an interesting guy to keep an eye on mid-year. But I think he is great for Dynasty because, well, nobody's there. I have seen them taking Smith next year in some of the mock drafts, which I think is kind of interesting. But those two, Malik Willis might be the happiest man because they're taking a receiver and he's got a job for another year. So we'll see how he goes. But I was quite excited about those picks.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't know if Malik Willis is gonna be too excited. Do you think he's confident he's going to have the job next year? Do you really think?
Oh, not at all. Not unless there's something we don't know. So a guy that you were talking about prior to when we were recording was Jacoby Lane, wide receiver out of
USC. I think it was
USC. Yeah, he's out of USC. Went the 3rd round to the Baltimore Ravens. Why do you think a Ravens receiver is going to do anything?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is like normal every year stuff. The Ravens get a receiver, and everybody kind of falls in. I don't want to say falls in love, but like kind of like, okay, we get a Ravens receiver. But he's like my kind of guy. I mean, he's 6'4". He's only 200 pounds, so he's a little slender. I feel like this is a different than the Ravens typically take. I feel like they're more of like the smaller gadgety type guys. They don't have like the taller, go up and get them type. They had DeAndre Hopkins for a while. Of course, he was older, so that don't really count. Um, Lamar Jackson, I think at some point in his career he's going to have to run less. So if you run less, you're going to have to throw more. A new offense. Probably pretty much a whole new coaching staff. So everything is going to be completely different. Like maybe they open it up a little bit. This guy can, stretch the field a little more for that offense. I don't know. I just find it interesting. It's the rate. I don't know if it's going to work out, but
I want it to because I love Lamar, but it's just I hear Ravens receiver and I'm like,
sure,
peace.
yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
no, that's why he's the receiver 29 right now as we're going in.
Sure.
A name that's been jumping up on a bunch of my threads of some of our buddies has been Ted Hurst.
Oh yeah,
Talk about a
yep.
beanpole.
Yep.
Is Ted Hurst a little bit heavier? Like he is 6'3", $185. So for an NFL player, 6'3", $185, he's just a giant stick. It's like
Devonta Smith, right? I mean, that
Devonta's like 1'6". So yeah, but yeah. So but he's at Tampa out of Georgia State, and then another name just sort of right in that realm with him that got drafted right before him was Brazel out of Tennessee, landed with the Panthers. Both those names are hot names. I've seen them go up and down sort of. Brazel usually goes up middle of the second round. Hurst's name has been popping up, and he's gradually. I've seen him climb over all three of my drafts. Any of these guys?
I think Hurst is interesting. Of course, the Georgia State thing probably hurts him a little bit. Nobody knows a lot about him, but he's going to a team that needs receiver help. I mean, of course, they got Ibuka. So, I mean, they got their number one. So they're not asking him to come in to be their number one. They got rid of Mike Evans. Chris Godwin who knows what's going on. He's always injured. He might play, or how long is he going to play? So I think that the Buccaneers like to sling it. They like to throw the rock. So, I mean, he's tall, he's fast. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to replace Mike Evans, but I mean, he's the kind of receiver that can replace him, take the top off. It's the word of the day is opportunity. And in this offense, there's going to be plenty of passes, I think, to go around there.
Now, I'm not as stoked for him as a lot of people are because I like Jake McMillan. I think because he came back from injury and played pretty well towards the end of the year, and I think he could sneak up. We had the rookies from last year, the Johnsons, that could jump in there as well. I think there's just so many mouths. It's Ibuka, and then will someone else take that role, or will it just be a full blown due to the week that we'll be doing surefire wasted touchdowns for every week that plays for them? It's hard to tell. And then throw out Chris Brazel the second in Carolina. I mean, these guys are back to back as far as wide receiver rankings for rookies. But Brazel's being drafted like 19th overall. Because the problem with him is how many, and this has been a discussion with a bunch of guys. If you got him, he's right behind Coker now, currently, supposedly. People say Sanders, I don't. But how many wide receiver ones or even twos can Bryce Young carry? So is he going to sort of be a guy we like now and we forget about in October or next year even?
Yeah, that's why I'm not. That's why I'm not. I mean, I like Brazel coming in. I mean, like I said, my kind of receiver. He's tall. He's fast. Like I said, there's just a lot. There's more mouths to feed in Carolina, I feel, than there is Tampa at the moment. So I think that's going to hurt him. Bryce, I don't know if Bryce Young really a gunslinger. Baker's a gunslinger. But I don't know if Bryce Young's really a gunslinger. We don't even know if Bryce Young is really any good yet. So I think that hurts a lot too. So I think I would take Hurst over Brazel at the moment.
Yeah, I think I would too. I think I didn't get any of either of those guys. But moving on, there's a bunch of guys throughout there. I'm going to jump into the third round we're jumping into the fourth round. That was the round. Jumping in the fourth round with 4.8. The Denver Broncos decided, hey, let's throw another running back in here. And they drafted Jonah Coleman. Yeah. Jonah Coleman out of Washington. Remember him from the run the other year with Penix and whatnot. And 5'9", 228, falling into a situation with Dobbins, who he'll be behind him for about 3 weeks till he gets hurt. And then RJ Harvey, who I thought a lot of last year, but he didn't really grasp. He didn't take the bull by the horns, or else this pick might not have been made, because Jonah Coleman has shown he can handle the load. Jonah Coleman's a big back, and Jonah Coleman could end up being the star there, or Jonah Coleman they could revert Harvey back and use him in the we always talk to Sean Payton. He's got to have the thunder and the lightning. Jonah Coleman could be the Mark Ingram, and let Harvey be the poor man's Alvin Kamara for this team that we're trying to get over there down in
So
Denver, which is a really good team.
I got a question. Has Sean Payton ever had an alternate duo running backs of Kamara and Ingram? Has there been another duo?
Gary Thomas and Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. It's always been Alvin Kamara and some big back.
So,
So he doesn't have an Alvin Kamara. That's
so
the
it's
problem.
so. I mean, a lot of people say Sean Payton is he always wants to run like a two back set, blah 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 blah. But I feel like it's just a really really good one back and then like a number two, right? So clearly they don't have that running back in Denver. So this is clearly going to be a committee. They're not as high on RJ Harvey as one would assume if they wouldn't drafted him. So it's going to be tough for either one of those guys. I feel like Coleman being the bigger back, once Dobbins gets hurt, he can get like some goal line carries. So I would probably lean toward Coleman at the moment, right?
Yeah, that's he's who I traded up for was to get Coleman, and I wish I'd taken Singleton with the next one because I'll just hit him while we're talking about it. Nick Singleton, the other Penn State running back you mentioned earlier, he went a round later, 525 to the Titans, and he's falling into a Tony Pollard, Tajee Spears. Tony Pollard's had a really good year last year, so Singleton might be a guy you can get on the cheap later in the year, or he comes in and plays like he was. If he'd have come out last year, he'd have been a lot better. He had a great younger career as a Penn State running back than when Kate Brown and him were sharing it. And last year, Penn State was kind of a mess anyway. So that sort of lingered in it. But I mean, it's in a great situation. They're both lame duck players.
Pretty good spot. I mean, Singleton's been a highly regarded running back ever since he's come out of high school. So, I mean, he's got the pedigree. He played at Penn State. He was productive. I don't know if Tony Pollard was very good. That might be a stretch. I mean, maybe okay, good. But yeah, Tajee Spears has not been pretty much anything. So, both of these guys could be gone by the end of next year, and Singleton could be sliding in, competing for more touches. That would surprise me if he beats out Tajee Spears this year. Tajee Spears has a history of injuries. Tony Pollard is an average running back, so yeah, I think that's an interesting pickup too. That I would like to have him on my team as well.
Ironically, Pollard has had 4 consecutive 1,000 barely. 1,000 and some odd yard seasons. Like last year was the most yards he ever ran for. But they're both in the last year of their contracts. I think that bodes well for Singleton. I think I've never been a Pollard guy. I think Pollard just takes it. He uses the situation he gets and makes the best of it.
Sure, wow.
So that makes him a good enough. And I like Cam Ward. So
he's a good running back. I mean, solid. I mean, he can get you through.
So you want it. You're supporting your boy. You got your boy Tyler Shuck. You were talking about. He got Tyson earlier in the draft, and then they drafted Bryce Lance out of North Dakota State, 6'3", 209, to be the third-ish receiver, I guess. He's in the 4th round. Are they banking on Chris Olave getting a concussion, or can you just not have enough good receivers in this league, or they're going to just run and gun the snot out of the ball?
Tyler Shuck's so good. You got to get him weapons, man. Well, so clearly, we can see where the Saints are going. They think Shuck is the guy, so they're going to give him plenty of opportunity. They gave him a good running game. So of course, Olave has the concussion history. Tyson has the knee history. He's always injured. So I mean, maybe that's a part of it. They got 2 injury riddled receivers, starting for them. They might need some backup. I mean, Bryce Lane may never play. I mean, but he's out of the smaller school North Dakota State, kind of like Ted Hurst went to Georgia State. So I mean, that's another worry there. But I mean, there's going to be, like I said, opportunity for guys. I mean, I kind of like the Saints this year, so I'm going to be all in on all their players. So I'm excited about that. So when somebody wears a Saints jersey, I'm going to be all on it. So that's kind of the only really reason that I could probably give you.
They took a tight end. I heard you say it. I was like, oh man, I just lost his name. They took it. That's Tyson. They took a tight end a little later here in the draft. Blah 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 blah. Here it is. Uh, Out of LSU. That's a wide receiver. There's another wide receiver. Who's the tight end? Man, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'll pull it up while we're talking. While we're getting to the next guy. But they took a tight end throw in there to go with Juwan Johnson. He's been sliding up on a lot of my draft boards. Oh, here he is. Delp.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot. People have been talking about him lately too. So.
Out of Georgia.
Yeah.
But he never really. It's things he never took the bull by the horns after he was supposed to be the next big thing. When Bauer stepped out, like, oh yeah, and then he just sort of ho hummed his way through. So it's an interesting pick as to where he could fall. But they took him at that point. Another guy that was sort of sad. One of your favorite players going in was Mike Washington Jr.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Unfortunate.
Unless what we're hearing that they want to run a 2-back system in Vegas. So Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas, big and fast, went in the 4th round to the Raiders. Now that was just like a fantasy world is like, because he was a combine darling. So he's either going to be good or really, 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 really bad. Because I always am a little weary, but you got me excited for him. But then they said the Raiders. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Either for him or for Genty. So I just traded a Pool of Blue to get Genty a week ago on one of my dynasty leagues. And do you think they're truly gonna go full blown like committee? Like, I mean, I'm talking like a 60-40,
No.
75-20.
No.
You think it's Genty and then Mike Washington's dead?
Sure. I mean, Genty was a top 10 pick in the NFL, so they got a lot riding on it. When you say 2-back system, I mean, technically, everybody runs a 2-back system. I mean, right? Genty's still going to get 300 carries. I'm not really not too worried about that. I mean, I think Mike Washington is going to be the one that hurts here. Maybe the Raiders just run a lot. I mean, they don't have a lot of receiving weapons. So Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. I don't think it's going to be a 2-back. I think they're just saying that because, I mean, just coach speak. I think Genty's going to get plenty of carries as long as he's performing. If his performance is slipping a little bit, he'd say he's averaging 3.8 yards a carry, something crazy. I mean, they might give Washington more carries, but it's unfortunate. I really like this guy, but this kind of stuff happens every year. I mean, I think I'll still have him on my team just because something crazy things happen. It's a running back, man.
Okay. I got 2 guys here that are interesting to me that I think are super stashes. So you're getting them later in your draft. One is Adam Randall. He's out of Clemson, went to the Baltimore Ravens. He's 6'2", 230, going to learn under the robot, the cyborg, whatever we want to call Derrick Henry, who's still pounding the rock, but he might be a good bruiser to help. Maybe they're saying, hey, we know the big guy to just go between the tackles so that Derrick Henry is not worn out.
Who is this again?
Adam Randall, running back out of Clemson. He's taking the 5th round. So pick 174, the exact pick of the round was the 34th. So he's at the end. He was one of those compensatory picks for the Ravens at the end of the 5th round. So big boy had a okay career over in let's see what I got. Okay career
in Clemson, right?
He's a pretty good running back down at Clemson, but just slipped because that's what running backs do.
Yes, especially in this draft. I mean, Alex, I don't really know the guy, so can't really say. But I mean, he's behind Derrick Henry. Can't imagine Derrick Henry be taken off the field, even though Derrick Henry did slip a little bit last year. He didn't look like the Derrick Henry of old. So maybe there is going to be opportunity behind Derrick Henry. I think that might be something interesting to keep an eye on.
I mean, he had 36 receptions last year, which is a good number for a college running back.
Yeah, because Derrick Henry don't catch passes, though.
Yep. He doesn't have to. He just scores that many points out of that. But yeah, the other one was Desmond Claiborne, who was from Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And I can't spell Desmond as I'm.
I think it was Demond. Wasn't it Demond? Is it Desmond or Demond?
Demond Claiborne. Thank you. That's why his name's Demond. Yes, Demond Claiborne out of Wake Forest. Who was going to Minnesota, and I love that location. I mean, this dude has two back-to-back years with 11 and 10 touchdowns. Last year he had 907 yards, 101,049 the year before, but that's at Wake Forest. Yeah. So this is not a team that's on the field a lot. They're not a spectacular football squad, so he's still pulling that 20 some odd receptions, so he can catch something, but nothing great. But he fell to the Minnesota Vikings, and that's why he is slowly sneaking up. He's a guy I took him a little early because it was my last pick. I took him with the 210 in a recent draft, but he's going about third round, early third round, because he's in Minnesota. Minnesota's well coached. He's He's behind Aaron Jones, who they resigned after cutting, and Jordan Mason, who's never shown anything. Jones has been hurt a lot recently. So there's a good chance he plays this year or he learns. And a year from now, we're talking about Desmond Claiborne
Demond
maybe getting
Claiborne.
a chance to. Demond, daggone. I'm sorry, Demond. It's like they missed the S. Claiborne on the team. You feeling him at all? Or
Yeah, I mean, I like this guy, but it's just I don't think he's going to be like the RB1, but I think he can be a contributor. I think he's going to get on the field early for kickoffs or kick return and punt return. So I think he's going to be getting on the field, so people are going to be able to see what he can do. He's going to keep his name in there. But yeah, Aaron Jones is how old is Aaron Jones? I feel like Aaron Jones has been playing so long. He's gonna be like in his 30s. I feel like.
I want to say he might only be 29 or 30.
I feel like he's been playing a long time. Yeah, so the injuries are going to start creeping up on him.
31.
Yeah, he's getting old. So I mean, that's one thing against Aaron Jones. Jordan Mason, we've always liked Jordan Mason, but he can never like really come through. So I mean, it might take him a while to get onto the field because especially he's not going to be like the lead back, but I think he can be a productive back. So yeah, I'm very interested in Demond Claiborne. I say
I
it
wonder how his
again,
brother Desmond Claiborne is going to at some point.
Demond Claiborne.
Demond Claiborne, dude's 5'10", $195, so not anything huge.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's not going to be the lead back, but he can be a productive. I think he can be a productive back.
I think he's going to be a guy that we're going to be. I think we talk
Sure.
about him this year. I have a feeling
Yeah.
he's going to come up. But this was a draft with a boat ton of receivers. I mentioned that last week. A boat ton of actually tight ends. Tight ends seem to. It's almost like they were playing in a tight end premium NFL with the rate of the way tight ends went.
Yeah, I
Or
think
a lot of people want to go 11.
the offenses are starting to switch back to like the bigger offenses. I mean, it kind of it's reciprocal. The defenses were getting smaller because the offenses were getting faster, so we had to adjust to that. And now the offense is seeing that the defense is smaller. They're just going to beef it up a little bit. Start running, bringing in like three tight ends to match, whatever's on the other side. So yeah, a lot of tight ends, man. A lot of tight ends.
And because there's none of them other than the top two that I'm like, yes, because all you hear is blocking tight end. They're going to run 11 personnel. They got a tight, so Jawan Johnson's there. So you're going to take, and you're going to let Delp block on the other side. You got Loveland. You're going to let Roush there. So a lot of these guys are coming in to just be a blocker. Let's just get some fullbacks. I really, really miss some fullbacks.
I don't think that's ever coming back.
I know, but I love a good fullback, man. That's some good stuff.
You're the only one.
We talked at one point about Newsmeyer. He might be he's the worst Malik Willis Shador drop. That dude went 7th round, 33rd overall. He was so close to being Mr. Irrelevant, and now he backs up Justin Fields in the Kansas City Chiefs. So about a fall from a guy who some people said might land somewhere where he could play. Now he's got snowball's chance to play.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, they probably can imagine nobody even really drafted him. I mean, it'd be hard because he's not really going to get much opportunity. Yeah, it's a fall from grace. It was sorry, Nussmeier. You just suck.
And then I just want to close with like my favorite player in the draft.
Okay.
6 foot. He went really, really, really late. Let's see what's his exact. 7th round, 14th pick. But I want this kid to be good. 6 foot, 206, Eli Heidenreich from Navy, the all-time leading, I think, receiver. He had 941 yards receiving for Navy this year on 51 catches. He rushed for 499, but it was fun to see this kid. Like he delayed his commission to the Naval Academy so he could play football. It was in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh drafted him. They took him all around. They say he's probably going to be sort of a gadgetish kind of guy. He's probably just a kick return punt return, but it's just cool to see a midshipman sort of catch the eye. He seems like just a fun story. So it's going to be I'm going to follow him throughout the year. I almost got him on a waivers, but it's like, is he worth that spot, or can I might just have to root for him and or get him for $1 in my bourbon bowl, but he's not a guy you're gonna throw up high because I believe. Let's see, how far is he down
Yeah,
on
I've never
fantasy?
heard of the guy, so I've.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go watch
Oh,
a.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, he's waiting. If you get a chance, just go watch a video of him when he got selected. They just sort of they trotted him down like the prize stallion throughout the whole thing. Like he's not even here. Holy moly! Like he's not even. I'm missing his right now with my eyes. So I'm gonna go, but he's a kid I'm gonna root for this year down in Pittsburgh. You know, it's they're running Warren, but he could slap into some sort of gadget thing and have a little fun on that team. So, but yeah, there's lots of other guys, but this is the draft. If you find a guy you like, go check him out. There's a kid for the Saints, a running back that they drafted. They say might be able to you can keep an eye on because well we know that our boy it's Emmett Johnson. We know that our boy Kenneth Walker has a problem staying healthy, and he got a bag. So, what motivation does he have anymore? So, there's a possibility you might be seeing the name Emmett Johnson. He's a good late
Oh
second,
yeah,
early
Emmett
third round.
Johnson's a good one too. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
So keep an eye out for those guys. Check out guys. Look for the late rounders. There's gonna be someone. There's no way that this draft can be a total dumpster fire. That I think there's guys later. So we're looking at the Emmett Johnsons. We're looking later at maybe Katron Allen. There's in the Hurst. These are guys that are in the late. Well, they're late second round. Or Stribling is going really really late. I mean, we know we think he's overdrafted. Maybe you're a Shanahan at night. You're a Shanahan maniac. Is that what you'd be?
Yeah, Shannon Maniac.
Shanahan maniac. Maybe something comes out of that. Maybe Adam Randall is a good stasher because he's going to learn from Home Slice. Kalen Black. Maybe he's the guy that plays when Christian McCaffrey hurts himself this year because he was good last year. But there's guys trickling down there. Eli Raridon is a name that you'll probably be talking about. Rookie tight end for the New England Patriots. Maybe he goes in and gets some stuff from your boy there. So there's names, and the one name that I forgot to bring up was where's he at? The Malachi Fields. Did we talk about him last week?
I don't know if we talked about him last week, but we've talked about him. Yeah, I'm really I like Malachi Fields. I'm interested.
So Malachi Fields consensus is went to the New York Giants. Everybody, he went to UVA for 4 years, ended up at Notre Dame. And currently he's consensus the 212, the number wide receiver 14, 24th overall. I just did a draft where the dude went number 9.
Yeah, I mean,
no, sorry, he went 10. Skylar Bell, the Buffalo Bills receiver, went 9.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that. I think
he's going 28.
I think
it's like the Rams taking Ty Simpson when they could have taken him at 31.
I think Malachi Fields is just as interesting as any other player you're going to get at 10.
Skylar Bell at 9.
I mean, there's opportunity. There's going to be opportunity. I don't know if I would take Skylar Bell at 9. I'm not as high on Skylar Bell, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're high on him, I mean, there's really no different than Malachi Fields. I mean, he's going to get. He's going to get chances.
And Fields is he's an advisive guy from what I've seen in discussions, but I'd take Fields. I would reach for Fields because that guy, maybe he just had that pick, but he didn't. But some guys might be like, because Fields is like a mid-second rounder. So you're going up, you get your guy because you can't trade back, can't trade out to get him. But Skylar Bell, the guy that took him, could have had a second-round pick at the same spot and still gotten Tyler Bell, and who had a third-round pick at the same spot and gotten Tyler Bell. So that was the shock. I was like, holy moly, that just moved back some guys to me. So, okay, JJ Wang. Next week, everybody, we're going to talk about who was affected by all of these good, bad, and different teams, players. Where are the impacts of these rookies going to be in the next level? Give us some wisdom, JJ Wang, and I'm exhausted.
So, I just got a quick trade question. Would A.J. Brown be cheaper now or after he gets traded? What do you think?
I don't think.
Or you don't think
maybe
he's not going to be cheap at all?
Everybody knows what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So, but maybe he might be cheaper now if you find that. You mean to get or to give away?
To get him.
To get him if the owner hasn't paid attention that he's going to the Patriots in 4 weeks. Because most people know he's going to be a Patriot, probably a first-round pick traded next in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's May, top of May, so in June. But if you're in a league and somebody's like, oh, AJ Brown, they just drafted Lemon, they have all these
But I
too many
think you,
people there.
but I think he would get a little more expensive after he gets traded. Do you think he'd get a
Yeah,
little?
oh yeah. He's cheaper now.
More
He's cheaper now.
expensive, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, you would do it now and not later.
I would, yeah.
Okay.
But I think if the owners are paying attention, which
Yeah.
hopefully they are,
You're right. You're right.
not for your sake, but for their sake,
Yeah.
it should be the same. I think it'll go up in
Yeah.
June, even though we all know, just because, oh, AJ Brown, you
Yeah.
know, it'll be that kind of deal. Stock market kind of
Okay,
thing.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So as always, trust yourself and trust the process.